Is this a switch up? Is this when we switch up? Because that was pretty hopeful. I'll be honest. I was asking how the fuck we get dark. That is pretty hopeful. And I do see where more fits into that scheme. But now it seems like a switch up. Oh. Why do I recognize him by his fucking... I know I'm listening to his album, so I expect it to be him. But I feel like if you told me this is a BTS member breathing, I would know that's Hobie. Not bad. Sounds like Hobie. Oh. Both headphones. Ooh. It's like giving me shivers because it's so close. Oh, that's cool. Every like second beat, there's a new thing added. What the fuck? Oh, it's terrifying. That's kind of fucking terrifying. Okay, what if was next? So you might as well just... Now's the twist, yes. Reflecting on pretty much everything we just talked about. That's such a cool effect. Oh, okay. I was honestly just gonna let this play because this is just so fucking raw. But I wonder what hardships and ordeals mean to you, since you only walked up intact stairs, whereas J-Hope had to, like, there were no stairs, and if there were stairs, they were fucking like miles apart. Oh boy. Yeah, they did not come easy to him at all. Oh, this is sad. Like, this is... I want to let the rest play. This is fucking sad. This is just... The whole album is his diary. Interesting.
Nothing. Can I do that shit?
What? What? What do I even say to that? What do I even say to that?
하지만 내 자의가 네 무서운 환경으로 탄생한 나 당당히 비춘 너의 persona hold up
I mean,
What if, what if, what if, what if, what if I had no dream? What if, what if, what if, what if, what if I had no passion? What if, what if, what if, what if, what if I had no vision? Hey, how you doing, bro? 요즘은 삶은 안
I don't even know how to respond to the song. I do not know how to respond to the song. I literally think we have to move on. I do not know how to respond to the song. There's so much going on. And it's like it's too much to contemplate and try to understand him, especially when he's questioning it. What if he's not J-Hope? What if he's just Jung Ho-suk? What if? And what's wrong with that? I mean, there's a lot of questions in there. Like, what if I had no car, no money, no house? That, like, I don't think he has to worry about it anymore. But I'm sure it was a worry at some point, and I'm sure I know it's a worry for a lot of people. What if I have no vision, no passion, no hope, no. Honestly, like, even if that's the case, I feel like this is still a product of that. Like, I feel like this album is still a product of him maybe losing hope and focus and drive and passion in some ways. Because I feel like he could pull this out and just project that onto the album and onto his artistry and music, and it would still have this result. Like, I don't know what this album was made from. I don't know if it was made from a direction of passion or a direction of emptiness, and either way I think we would have the same result, if that makes sense. I don't think he can go wrong, and I think that's scary also. There's just so many questions that he has and is asking himself in this album, and it's literally I am honestly feeling like holy fuck vulnerability from him, where I don't know what to say. It's literally, when I say it's like a diary, I mean it's like unfiltered, unedited diary entry. Okay. Somehow we have to get through that song, get past that. Safety Zone. Old school sample.
내 20대를 바치며 무궁무진한 삶을 살고 있어 다 보란 듯 응답하지만 날 돌아보란 듯 커지는 이며 세상은 빠르게 변하고 그 순간 다르게 외로워 괴로워 아구는
This album is exactly what like real rappers, I shouldn't say that because people might get mad, but like the OG rappers, Tupac, Biggie, other rappers, I'm not like too into rap, like I said, but like we're doing in the 90s and early 2000s and late 80s ish era. Like, this is what it was. It was all just albums that were telling stories and being raw and real and weren't trying to use all these effects on their voice and just talk about partying and drugs and stuff. Like, if they were talking about that, it was in context to like a bigger picture usually. And now we have him bringing this back. Honestly, like, even Western artists aren't bringing this back. So, I mean, it's pushing boundaries. That's all J-Hope knows how to do. Okay. We'll let him just talk to us.
Oh my gosh 마음맞춰 살아가지만 비극가 애써 나를 위해 외치는 듯해 break a leg in my zone 도심 속 잘 맞춰 사람도 만나지만 교통정리가 안 된 차들처럼 이리 치고 저리 치곤 해 나 왜 없는데 어디 가면 있는데 길 맞춰 잘 보면 안전지대가 있던데 그래 의미 없이 팔만 돌지 이가 마치 깡통 Porsche 나도 가고 싶은데 Where is the mind 내 심리 속에서도 있기는 한 걸까 그 누군가는 나에게 아낌없이 줬을 터인데 잠시 돌이켜보기 위한 내 구루터기는 어딨나 어둠 속 안도의 한 줄기 빛은 어딜까 고즈넉한 home 아니면 저 먼 블루일까 Where's my safe joint 왼쪽 오른쪽 go straight What's my safe joint 이거 저거 or X 어둠 속 안도의 한 줄기 빛은 어딜까 고즈넉한 home
I'm gonna have nothing to say.
Where's my safe joint 왼쪽 오른쪽 go straight What's my safe joint 이거 저거 or X 믿어주는 사람들의 응원 그들도 등을 돌리며 차갑게 나를 그 people 일어나는 사람들 털어놓을 수 없는 사명감 요즘은 사람보다 동물이 좋다라고 느껴 자멸감 임종을 앞둔 노을 같아.
Wow. I felt that. Just saying, I felt that. I like animals more than people these days, but I feel a sense of self-destruction. I seriously feel that.
느껴 자멸감 임종을 앞둔 노을 같아. 밤과 새벽을 달래준 light. Where's the zone? 근제도 피가는 night green zone But 이 길을 선택하는 순간 있기는 할까 나의 safe zone 어둠 속 안도의 한 줄기 빛은 어딜까 고즈넉한 home 아니면 저 먼 블루일까 Where's my safe zone 왼쪽 오른쪽 go straight What's my safe zone 이거 저거 or X 어둠 속 안도의 한 줄기 빛은 어딜까 고즈넉한 home 아니면 저 먼 블루일까 Where's my safe zone 왼쪽 Go straight, what's my safe joint?
It wasn't a sample then. Interesting. I thought it had that feel of a sample. An older song. I guess it could still be. I don't know. So weird. So weird. So weird. We're just going to close this out with Future. I have nothing to say. I have nothing to say. This album is like there's too much going on. There's too much going on. I assume this one will be relax. I assume this will be a little hopeful, but maybe not.
Always. I needed to when I said I do. 용기와 믿음, 긍정의 rhythm. Always.
Oh, I like his voice. Sorry.
When I said I do, 용기와 믿음, 긍정의 rhythm. Always I needed to. When I said I do, 미래를 걷는 희망의 girl. I was 그래 난 그냥 도박이었잖아. I was 춤만 좋아하는 아이였잖아. 다워 주어진 삶에 대해 감사하는 다워 지금 가장 걱정하고 다워
That rhyme scheme. I don't even know what's happening there.
결국 내 맘은 멍투성이잖아 평소에 다른 옷 입대 try on 좋아하는 운전처럼 한번 순리대로 봐봐 내 피가 외동겠어 왜 움직이겠어 결국 변화하고 영원한 건 없잖아 You know we know I know 강을 거슬러 오르는 연어가 될 수 없어 I needed to When I said I do, 용기와 믿음, 긍정의 rhythm.
I'm surprised that this song is the one that probably has the most melody to it. More flowing melody.
When I said I do, 미래를 여는 희망의 girl. 그저 내 스스로 정할 style, 단정할 style 없는 게. 다가올수록 무섭기도 홀로 버티기도 버거운 게. Man, you must go with the flow. 그저 흐르는 대로 가보자고. 필요해 보여 나에게도 용기와 믿음으로 희망의 걸.
I assume I'm supposed to sound like kids, or is kids being our future? J-Hope was the one that, I was just remembering that interview that they did with either MTV or BuzzFeed or like something like that, where they were asking, get to know your members, or like, how well do you know your members? And the question for J-Hope was, what's your biggest fear? And everybody was like, bugs. You know, like all the other members are like, bugs. I think like producing your next mixtape or like, and that was close, or losing Army, just like a bunch of stuff that definitely J-Hope would probably be afraid of. But I think his answer to that was his future. Because I remember him saying in English, he's like, my future, my future. And everyone was like, oh, because he went really deep and like more existential with it instead of something like that you can just be like, oh, I'm scared of spiders. I believe that is correct. So that's, you know, scary as it approaches, it's always approaching. It's hard to endure alone. You're always enduring it. The future is always in a constant. You never reach your future. You're just always in it. You're always in it just as much as you're in your present and your past. It's really fucking weird. But more so like present and future are so intertwined that you're never really there. Interesting. That's just such a way to end the album talking about it in this way. I'm so proud of him. Future. I am so proud of him. That was an incredible album. Is it something that I would normally gravitate to? No, but because he did it so well, because he took those genres and took that vulnerability and portrayed it so well, I can see myself loving these to death, because it's just, how can you, in my opinion, like, how can you not? It's not trying to be this hardcore cypher hip hop song. It is trying to be honest and open and raw and real and all those words, and so well done, so well done. He should be so proud of this album. Now I'm thinking about that Hype party, the pre-release party. It's like, it's supposed to be a pre-listening party too, but do people just get like super depressed? Like, or like they're dancing and they're like, oh, but this isn't really, something you would dance to. I am so happy for him. It's interesting too, because this is like the first official album, whereas I would call this more of a mixtape in terms of like what you're talking about, because mixtapes usually are, I feel like, more to the heart instead of albums, just like historically, not actual definition of the words. But yeah, it's just interesting that his mixtape was Hope World, and then we have this, which is crazy. Okay, that was a longer video than I thought after seeing the lengths of the songs. I apologize for me saying everything and nothing at the same time. There was a lot to unpack and a lot to not talk about in this album. This is a lyrical audio book. That is what it feels like. There's so much happening in it, lyrically, and the beats. All the beats are so good. His voice when he's singing is so good. His voice when he's rapping, his flow, his melody, his everything. Tempo is so good throughout the whole album, but I feel like you have to listen to it all together, and I just feel like there's not, other than More and Arson, like he picked those perfectly, More and Future being the more melodic ones, but he picked More and Arson perfectly to show what this album would be like in a different perspective of them. And honestly, I think More shines for me in a different way, in a completely different way than the rest of the album. The rest of the album is like a big cake that you have to take in all at once, whereas More is like the little icing piece, or like Oreo cookie on top, where you can kind of eat it by itself. Just because I feel like More is completely different than this album. And what a way to get people interested in this album that may not have been, or if you release, let's say you release freaking Future, not everybody's going to be interested in that kind of sound. But he released More, and not everyone would be interested in that either. But it's different. It hits different than the rest of the album, and I think it is meant to be there in a completely different way. He's talking about different things, and then you get into the rest of the album, and it's like, oh, literally like opening Pandora's box. It's like everything comes out that you didn't expect when you just hear More. Anyway, sorry, I know I'm talking a lot. Sorry, I'm very excited, very happy, very proud of him. Thank you for watching this video with me. Let me know your thoughts on the album, and I will see you guys in a future video. Oh, sorry, I do have one more thing to say. J-Hope is known as a dancer. Hobie is known as a dancer. He's a dancer. He started dancing. He only got into rapping because of BTS, and then we have this. Hope World had dance, it had choreography, It had bounciness and happiness to it, something you can move to. This album had none of that. None of that. This is just words and beat and flow and rap, and it did not have all that dance to it. You can't really dance. I mean, you can, he's moving a little more. He's moving a little in Arson, but you can't dance to these songs like you would expect him to dance to if he does dance to them at any point, but I doubt it. Which is stupid. That shows J-Hope's diversity and the things that he's able to do. If he's known as a dancer and he just did that. Just saying. Okay, bye.